this so that there we go.
So that we're equals.
And it should probably be the other way, but you're going to be the master today. So good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? And how is everyone watching? I'm super curious.
Yeah, if you're joining me or joining us with some coffee, good morning. Maybe some people are in Europe, wherever you are, let us know. Let us know, the UK. Um, really excited about today. We're going to be diving into how to set your prices as a social media manager. So, kind of a new topic for us. Really excited as people start to roll in. Dropped some hellos, some good mornings.
Aw.
Happy Friday. All of the things. I'm happy that it's Friday.
Me too. I'm excited about this weekend, but I'm also really excited about what we're going to be talking about today because this is intense.
Yeah.
It's good.
And similar to our last webinar, I will once again be taking all of this info in. I will be learning as well today because it's actually a really great topic because I have been working in influencer marketing more and
Mhm.
started to notice that prices range so that it's crazy. So knowing how to price is I mean, I can't even imagine as
Mm, We will touch on budgeting for influencer marketing. We'll mostly be talking about pricing for social media managers, but that does, as you guys all know, as you know, Aniston, like that plays into influencer marketing as well.
yeah.
So, should we just dive on in?
Yes.
I'm
So,
super excited.
hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. We are going to be diving into how to set your prices as a social media manager. And we are joined by Rachel Peterson. She is a viral sensation, a top social media marketer and consultant. She is a leading authority on social telling through social media, and she is also Metricool's US ambassador. And we're so happy to have her today to guide us through this. So let's dive in.
Do this. You guys, who here has been wondering all about pricing? Pricing services, pricing for sustainability. Drop a yes if any of this is resonating. Pricing to prepare yourself to not have to be the one doing the work forever and ever and ever. This is a topic I am super passionate about. And even if you aren't a social media manager, there are some really cool nuggets that you can get from this because we're going to talk about specifically pricing for social media managers, but we're going to talk a little bit about uh, how ads work, influencers, and even at times your business's profitability to set you up to scale. Okay, so quick question for you guys. Drop a yes if you feel like you have been charging too little. There's that little voice deep down inside that says, I don't think I'm charging enough. Okay, so I'm going to share, I'm actually adding one more note here, which I'm kind of excited about. So if you stay till the end, I'm going to share ways to set yourself up for higher prices, which I feel like could be a whole nother topic in and of itself, but it just popped into my head and I think you guys might like that. Anyone excited about that? Because I think that's really powerful. Okay, so I want to share a couple of things that are really helpful. So, how to charge? Okay, for whatever reason, for a very long time in our industry, no, I've got a dying marker. That is, we will make it work as long as we can before I have to find a new marker. Okay, for the longest time in our industry, there has been this like under willingness to pay social media managers what they're worth. Has anyone ever talked to a prospect who said, like, I'm looking for growth in followers, increase in sales, increase engagement, and also, can you run some Facebook ads, maybe build a funnel for me? And I want references, case studies, and my budget is $500 per month. Anyone know exactly what I'm talking about? The interesting thing is social media management is one of the most crucial points in a business. And part of the reason for that, and we're going to just nerd out for a second here, is because it is the first line of filling a funnel. I've got a big fat marker. Just give me 1 second, guys, because this marker just decided, nope, not today. It's Friday and I'm quitting early. We're going to use a jumbo marker. Okay, so when it comes to social media and also copy, right? And a little graphic design. And also, could you get my car's oil changed while you're at it? So, what's really interesting is before we even get to paid advertising, before we even get to funnels or anything like that, your entire business is a funnel. And everything is leading to ultimately that conversion, that sale at the end. And what a lot of people don't realize is, you have your sales or conversion mechanism. That is the tiniest part of that funnel, right? We could turn this sideways to make it like an upside down, that funnel. But before that, sometimes ads and funnels come into play. But even before any of that happens, comes your front line of defense. This is how you reach the majority of people. This is where you reach the most people. This is where you build a raving network, a following who is excited. And so social media is what has the potential to reach the most people and bring them into your entire ecosystem. And I don't know about you guys, but that seems pretty big. Drop a yes if you're like, dude, that feels massive. It's a big thing. This is actually one of the single most important parts of a business. And a lot of times people will say, well, why would I hire a social media manager when I can just run ads? And the truth is, you guys, every time that I connect with businesses who do that, one of two things happen. Either that business down the road, they kind of hit these golden handcuffs where the second they stop the ads, all of their traffic and conversions stop. So their costs just keep rising as their business builds. And then ultimately that business struggles seriously and has mega financial issues and even at times shuts down. Or on the flip side, suddenly they come back or go to another social media strategist and they're like, I am desperate to figure out organic social. So it's not if, it's when a company is going to need social media management and support. Anyone loving this already? Because I think this is super helpful. When companies are wanting to hire someone for true social media management, you do not want to charge hourly, because what that does for you, and this is a big one, okay? The hourly is a trap. Drop a yes if you guys hear me loud and clear on this and you promise me to not charge hourly for those services. Isn't that sun so beautiful coming through my window? That's really pretty. I know it'll only last for a couple minutes, but
I've been noticing that. I was like,
the sun is actually a page
like in the in the
yes. So what that means is you are trapped in a cycle of hours to money. Meaning, if you work 20 hours a week and you make X amount of money, to double that income, you have to double your hours. And that's great, but it doesn't set you up for sustainability and scale. Okay? Promise me you will not charge hourly, because what we do is so much more than dollars for hours. Drop a yes if you, and who here has been needing this and this affirmation, this validation. What we do is so much more than just the hours that we're putting into the day-to-day work. We're thinking about our clients, we're strategizing, we're learning about new strategies to take them to a new level. Just because you clock in, create content, clock out, doesn't mean you're done thinking about the strategy, the thoughts, the growth, etc. So as social media managers, I'm kind of on this personal mission to like ban hourly rates because I just don't think that that's effective. It's different than VA work, it's different than OBM work. And so from here on out, no more hourly. Cool. Now, I'm going to share a couple of guidelines for charging that are generally very, very, very helpful. Okay. So, how much should I be charging? Now, some people will tell you just charge 5,000, just charge 10,000. Well, no, there's a little more to it because on some level, you do need to be able to provide a level of result in order to justify the expense. Real fast, I know that that's not sexy, but drop a yes if you hear me loud and clear on that. You do need to be able to provide a level of result and performance to justify certain rates. And so we're going to talk about specifically what those rates and those price points look like, okay? So the first level is charging 150 to 999 per month. Now, this is more of a management level. I personally don't advise that anyone charge in this range. I'm just going to be super, super honest about that. But this would be a really good place to start if you don't yet understand strategy, results, excellence. You just want to post stuff for the clients. Um, if you have invested into training, if you have ever gotten any results on social for yourself or for clients, this is not what I would charge. These are dollars. Yep. And so this for me is like, I think of my first year as a social media manager, and I was not a strategist yet. I was just posting stuff for clients. Some of it worked, most of it didn't. And that's when I was charging under $1,000 per month. You guys hear me loud and clear on that, right? Anyone liking that I'm breaking this down based on those things? Okay.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So that price range, what would you say would so say if someone were starting out and
Mhm.
they were asking their client or they're delivering deliverable, I guess they're what deliverables do you think is kind of the right amount? Is there a guideline for that? Or how would you dive in first and have that price point? What would you deliver, I
I'll
guess?
tell you what I delivered. It is different for everybody at every single price point. One thing I will say, there's two things that come into play that help people to be able to um, maximize their price points without giving away the farm. And those two things are certainty and your ability to persuade. So those two things do come into play. When I was charging like 500, 600, and then like $900 per month per client, I was usually managing 2 to 3 platforms and just Monday through Friday content. But notice it's managing, not there was very little strategy. I would say there was no strategy involved, but it kept their platforms populated, and then sometimes they experienced a little bit of growth. Cool.
Okay.
Really
Makes
good question. Really, really good question. So those price points are no-brainers, for business owners that are not extremely established, and that can be a great place to get practice. However, sometimes it's just better to skip that phase, get
sense.
some training, and then get to the next level. I'm just being super honest because, well, there's a whole we could get into that, but it would take all day. So when you get into charging 1,000 to 2,500 per month per client. In there, we're gonna start delivering some results, like consistently. Some results of growth, followers, engagement, maybe even some occasional leads and opportunities for sales. Um, Let me real fast answer that one question. All of this would include creation of content because just posting is more of a social media VA. because that's not the creation process. So, social media management also includes creation. It doesn't always have to have graphics. Cool. Okay. So at 1,000 to 2,500 per month, you want to be delivering some results of growth, followers, engagement, and some occasional like leads and opportunities as well. Cool. When you get into, I'm still going to put 2,500, even though I know it's not a perfect range now because I put 2,500 there. But when you start getting into a place of expertise and starting to deliver really consistent results, this is where you're going to want to you're going to want to see consistent decent results. You want to be consistently investing in your training, your education, your expertise, your strategies, your tools. This is when you are consistently good. Now, I'm going to share something that is controversial in this space. A lot of people think higher price points equal way more deliverables, and that is not the case. Drop a yes if you hear me loud and clear on that. It means the right deliverables that bring the right results. What I mean by that is if I were to, let's say, come into a business and say, I'm going to charge you $7,000 per month for this one platform. If they were to say, does that mean I get 10 posts per day? I would say only if that's what that day called for. Most of the time, it's going to be 1, 2, maybe 3 posts per day. So it is not necessarily more, it's the right amount. I'm going to shut my window shade because that sun is getting really bright. There we go. The sun is a paid actor today. So I'm a huge fan of recognizing that higher price points don't mean more deliverables. It means more results from the right deliverables. And that is an absolute game changer. If I hire a copywriter who charges $500 for a sales page, and then I hire a copywriter who charges $50,000 for a sales page, I'm not necessarily going to get a longer sales page from one or the other. They're going to both deliver me copy for a sales page. You guys loving this? Because this is a nerd out zone for me. I'm very passionate about it. But the $50,000 copywriter has a track record of results, and it is more likely to convert better. Doesn't even mean it's guaranteed. Drop a yes if you needed this reminder. Just because you charge more doesn't mean you guarantee that it's going to get results. I have one package that I guarantee, and it's not a money back guarantee. It's a I will work with you until we get that result. Go ahead, Anston.
Maybe you're going to dive into this, but how can people grab that info, that data to, present their work, to present their accomplishments and show their clients, this is what I'm able to do.
We'll get into that one in the last point. It's
I figured.
Yes, beautiful. All right, there's still one or even 2 more levels. You guys cool with this? So a lot of people think, oh, 5,500 per month must be like the maximum for what a social media manager, well, technically, I want to share one key thing here. As you charge higher rates, you want your title to reflect that. So I'll never forget as I started getting consistent results and moving into a place of expertise and even mastery, I switched from calling myself a social media manager to a social media strategist. Drop a yes in the chat if you guys like this. So you want to change things. If I were a copywriter before, I might call myself a copywriting expert. Or a copywriting expert with proven results, things like that. You want to change your title, kind of like when you go through school, right? You change your title as you get new degrees. So let's go ahead and keep on going because there are even further levels of mastery, results, and pricing. So when you start getting into $5,500 per month to $12,000 per month, I will tell you guys, it took me 6 years in business. And I mean, 6 years of working my tail off, investing a lot into education, learning a lot the hard way before I got into this range consistently. And once we got here, we had already had a track record of serious results. I do not recommend trying to charge these rates if you don't have a track record of consistent, pretty extreme results. So when I got to this point, we had already grown companies from 4 and even 5 and 6 figures into the millions. Now, of course, one thing I did do is I added in Facebook ads so that I could amplify our results and have a little more control of the actual ROI. Who here is taking notes on just that part right there? So, sometimes as a social media manager, it can be challenging to get to these rates because at the end of the day, a lot of clients are looking for an ROI. And if there's an issue in the funnel or with the ads or the conversion mechanisms, it can be really frustrating when you don't get it. So I would just hop in and be like, I'm just going to take over your Facebook ads because I know that I can build the audience. And then as I build that audience in the funnel, I can then retarget that audience with congruency from organic social to ad to sale. And for me, that was really fun. At $12,000 per month, I did start taking over funnels because I hate driving traffic to something that's broken. It drives me nuts. And so I would just be like, oh, and on this package, I also redo your funnels and your emails. And I was doing that for my sanity, not for adding that deliverable in for extra value, though it does provide extra value. Kind of cool, right? We'll keep talking more and more about that. Now, anyone loving this breakdown already today, true masters can charge insane rates. And I just want to put this out here. True masters can charge hundreds of thousands of dollars for less actual physical deliverables because they know exactly what to dive into to tweak it and fix the broken parts of a business. They can create strategies that ultimately are way more effective. Cool. Okay. Any questions, Aniston? Or are we doing good?
I think we're doing good. I'm just back here learning.
This is so fun. This is so fun. Okay.
Love
So, real fast, I want to talk a little bit about budgeting your business for profitability. Okay. So, a lot of times people will say, like, how am I supposed to be profitable charging $2,500 a month and also running the client's ads? And I just want to let you know you should never be paying for your clients' ads out of funnel or out of your funds. Drop a yes if you hear me right away. You should never be paying for the client's ads. Clients' ads are billed to their credit cards so that they're the ones who are ultimately on the hook for them. You just run them. So your costs of any type of advertisement does not come out of your pocket. That's not how it works. The other thing as well, and this is big, is we can talk just a little bit about influencers because a lot of brands, sometimes brands that have no business diving into this yet, they'll say, like, I want to hire influencers for my brand. Those rates do not come out of your pocket. That comes out of the client's pocket. You're just managing it and strategizing on it. Now, influencers' rates are very, very interesting these days. And I'm going to just put this out here. What is very, very interesting about influencers' rates is you kind of have to test like 10 to maybe get one good one and then double down on the good one. So I've seen a lot of businesses who go to their social media managers and they say, I want to hire influencers because I want to blow my business up and I have budget for 3 influencers. That is not the long-term way to be successful with influencers because the certain messages just resonate for certain influencers at different times, and you don't know which ones are going to take off until you run a test. So I'm a big fan of saying we're going to hire, 10 or even 20 influencers, take the top performing ones, and then double down on those in a long-term relationship. You will experience duds. Aniston, can I get a yes in the chat if you, or not in the chat, a yes from you if you know exactly what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I also think that, yeah, influencers are so hard because, you work differently with people, and sometimes people might not be your best fit, and that's okay, but it takes time to understand who you like to work with, who you're seeing those results with, and it's not always just a one-off of, "Hey, I wanna blow up my business, let's hire an influencer," and then move on and never have to go back to it. It's
Yep.
always a work in progress of finding the right person who is in your similar interests, is knows their audience really well, all of those things.
Yes, 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 yes.
Mhm.
Um, the other thing that's really interesting, so I've done a lot of influencer work, and there are a lot of people who say to influencers that they can charge, $30,000 per video. And that's great as long as you're delivering a result that makes that client want to come back at some point. If you're having to find new clients every single time for influencer work, it's a good sign that the results your influence work doesn't provide a decent enough result for people to want for it to even make sense moving forward. And so I know for me, like every time that I'm offered an influencer deal, I ask for the results afterward. And out of many, 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 many deals, there was only one that didn't convert and it converted at like almost 0%. So I was like, let's redo it because I want to see if it was me or if it was your offer. And so we redid it completely with a totally different angle. And once again, it didn't convert. And I was like, oh, yep, this is a funnel and offer issue for sure. So could I charge $30,000 per piece of influence? Yeah, but I probably wouldn't get many repeat clients because very few people would get the result that justifies a $30,000 rate.
Yeah.
So one thing that also really helps if you are in charge of looking for influencers is to see who has done repeat work with brands. So if you notice that they've done repeat brands over and over and over again, then that's a good sign that they're getting results and the brands want to still work with them. Okay, this is something I'm really excited about. And then we're going to talk about what services to include and like the deliverables that you offer. This is a little bit about setting yourself up for sustainability and scale. Drop a yes in the chat if at some point you want to hire help. I want to point out one thing because here is a myth that we can all dive into. Can small businesses pay those amounts? I do think they are not willing to pay that. What works for small businesses? Did you know that small business, that umbrella covers businesses making up to $15 million per year? Ugh.
Whoa.
Now, the mom and pop burger shop down the road might not be your ideal client unless you want to stay working at those lower rates. But that means that you have yourself a job and no pathway to ever hiring help and good luck taking a vacation. So, it's if that's the path you want to go, it's awesome. However, many people um straight up, you guys are going to want to at some point set their business up for scale, for hiring team members, hiring some relief at times so that you can take time off and your business will still run. Okay, so I am a big fan of taking a few things into account. There's a reason why these price points don't work if you want to set up yourself up for sustainability and scale. And it's because there are more factors in the equation than most people realize. If you want to scale at some point, pricing to scale, you have to take into account the cost of hiring help. Doesn't have to be full time, but it still costs money. You have to take into account, I'm going here. Why? Because it's responsible. Taxes. A lot of people don't even think about taxes as they scale. As you scale past $50,000 per year, you have to be intentional about saving for taxes at the end of each year. Drop yes in the chat if you needed this reminder. Okay. I always teach freelancers and especially social media managers, but freelancers to save 10 to 20% of their revenue for taxes at the end of the year. As you get more advanced as a business owner, you can prepay your taxes to reduce your tax bill, especially as your business grows. I'll tell you guys, there was one year where I didn't realize how much we had grown. So we weren't saving that 10 to 20% for the year. And we got hit with an $80,000 tax bill. That is not fun. Just straight up. That is not fun. So you have to plan for taxes, okay? And in case anyone says, well, I don't want to make more because I have to pay more in taxes. Well, making more means that it's easier for you to ultimately pay off your taxes and it still can provide a really fun style of life. Cool. All right. You want to account for profit. In case any of you were like, wait, what? Profit. What's that? Profit loss. What? Spreadsheets, accountants? A great book that I recommend is Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. That is a fantastic book that helps you to understand your financials from a true business owner mentality. Cool. And you also want to factor in your pay. When you first start your business, you're going to probably be taking home everything that's left over as your pay. This is pretty normal. A lot of people do this. But as your business grows, you actually don't want to do that. You want to set up owner's pay. So for years and years and years, we had an owner's pay of between my husband and I, $90,000 per year, even though our business was doing millions. And that worked really well for us and minimized the taxes that we needed to pay and allowed us to set ourselves up for sustainability and scale. Cool. I love that. I just put myself on payroll. It's one of those like grown-up tasks where you're like, yes, I feel like a grown-up now. Okay. So in order to factor in the cost of hiring, you will want to know what deliverables you're going to offer and how to price out the cost of hiring help for that. Question for you guys, drop a yes if this has been already really cool, because I'm having fun with you today. I feel like this is a fun, like kind of next level topic. I mean, it started simple, but I feel like we keep getting more and more advanced.
I know, I agree.
Are you guys having fun with me?
I'm having fun. Once again, I feel like a student just listening.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Always.
All right.
I'm always learning from you every time.
Aniston, you're awesome. All right, let's go on into deliverables. You guys ready for it? I still have my Christmas coffee mugs, so I should probably put those into storage at some point here. Okay, so let's dive on in to deliverables and pricing them. Before we talk about pricing them to hire out, I want to talk about what services to include in your proposals for clients. And then we'll talk about effective pricing strategies, as well as ways to set yourself up for higher prices. Cool? This is like super informative today. I feel like I should tap dance or something so we like actually have like tons of fun too. But I like learning. So, all right. So, deliverables. This is one of my favorite things to do. So when I am on a discovery call, I have one goal, and that one goal is to identify the actual pain points of the prospective client. Nobody ever just wants to grow on Instagram. And I mean this. Nobody ever just wants to post content on TikTok to just have a full feed. Drop a yes if you know this to be true. So I like to really dig deep, and it's almost like I'm not a therapist, but it's almost like I'm putting on a therapy hat. And one of the first things I say in my discovery calls is I'm actually not going to say much at all. This isn't about me. I'm here for you. And so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and ask you questions. And you can even feel free to vent. you can feel free to just share like what feels broken, what's going on. And my goal is to discover the real pain points underneath the surface. So, for example, and you kind of become a little bit of a detective and a little bit of a pseudo therapist. Um, you ask questions like, why does it feel that way? Um, what did this used to work for you? Why now? And so my goal is to just really dig deep. Go ahead, Aniston.
So when you have a first client
Mhm.
call or, discovery call, do you usually come in and ask them what they're looking for rather than coming with your deliverables already set out? Are
Yes.
you okay? That makes
Absolutely.
sense.
If I were charging lower rates like this, that tier one, I would just have my deliverables ready because I'm not going to customize them. With these levels of pricing, you're really moving into tailoring and customizing, even if it's not really that different from client to client, just the reasons for those things are.
Totally.
Really good question. So with deliverables, if someone comes to me and they're looking for TikTok, my question is going to be like, why now? Why
Mhm.
TikTok now? Your business is crushing it. Why do you want to expand to TikTok? And then they're going to share, here's our pain point. Facebook ads aren't working for us anymore. They're going to say, uh, we need to develop this new market. It's a real desire of ours, etc. So they kind of dive into like what their pain points are. And so I'm going to write down pain point number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and I usually get about 5 pain points. And then I'm going to create deliverables in a way that it answers the pain point. It solves the problem of the pain point. So if problem 1 is Facebook ads aren't working for us anymore, I'm going to say TikTok growth strategy so that you can build your ecosystem and reduce your cost of ads or replace them altogether. Drop a yes in the chat if this is pretty cool. If they come to me and they say, I'm frustrated because I don't know what to post or what to create, and I just feel like I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall, 1 year custom content strategy so that you never go blank on what to create ever again, so that you always know exactly what to create. And so I go through and create my packages. Erin, it's good to see you, by the way. I create my deliverables based on the pain points. And what that does is this elevates the perceived value, but also truly the value because I actually listened. I didn't just throw a set of pre-templatized, standardized deliverables at the client. Each and every one of my deliverables in my package matches a pain point and offers a solution so that you never experience this. We've got a loud kitten coming to us
I was
today.
gonna say, I can
You
hear
heard
it.
her right away. So drop a yes, guys, if this is helpful, because this is a different way to look at deliverables. Come here, or just stare at me and meow. Um, this is a really powerful way, though, to handle this process. So, do you have any questions, Aniston?
No, I was hoping to see your cat because she's so cute.
I'll see if I can pull her up. Let's see. Come here. Come here. Come here. She'll come right on up, and then we can say hi. We'll have a kitten break. Come on. Come on.
So, say if you dive into this meeting and the brand of the business is kind of like, we don't really know what our pain points are. How can you help or they say,
Mhm.
"Oh, we just want help with Instagram or TikTok," and they try to stay, just kind of on the surface. How do
Yes.
you break those barriers and say, well, like how do you find those pain points from an outside
Yeah.
perspective?
So if they refuse to go beyond surface level, I already know that's not someone I'm going to want to work with because I'm not a surface level person. I'm
Mhm.
like let's actually like talk. Like, let's be real about this, you know? And so I'll ask questions like, but what's making you want to get into Instagram now?
Mhm.
Um, or how are things going in your business? You know, like how is business going? How has Facebook been working for you? And so I'll just keep asking questions. And if I always get shut down and it's that surface level, surface level, surface level, I'll kind of be like, okay, I don't think this is someone I want to work with because they're not willing to be real about the reason that they want to get on Instagram.
Absolutely.
Very, very few people, I mean, like less than 1% just want to get on Instagram for
Yeah,
the taste of it, you know, or for the sake of it. So I find that to be always an interesting one. But I will say most prospects will get pretty real on a call. And there are a few things that I do to set up a safe space for that conversation. I say, I'm not going to record this call. And if you'd like, I can sign an NDA. So nothing you share with me in this call will be shared with anyone unless you give me permission.
yeah,
So it's a safe space for you to just be really honest and share what's going well, what's not, etc. Um, and then that helps a lot because I feel like that just pulls people's walls down and it
yeah,
really truly does create a safe space for prospective clients.
definitely. It
Hmm.
also probably creates those deeper relationships, which you're ultimately looking for in the end if you
Yep.
know, want to work with someone.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's awesome.
Cool, cool. Okay, so deliverables. How
Yes.
to make sure that you are priced to set up for scale. Okay, so let's say I were offering TikTok, TikTok growth, and I know that I'm going to need to provide captions, hashtags. I'm going to need to provide video editing and comment response. When you are ready to hire someone, if you are providing the systems, the strategy, the clients, etc., when you're providing all of that, you can hire someone hourly for the individual tasks. Okay. And some people like to work hourly. So when you're the one providing the job opportunity, the systems, the strategies, the SOPs, etc., you have the ability to bring someone in either per project or hourly, depending on which route you want to go. So I would calculate how much it would cost to have someone create all of the captions for the month. So let's say, for example, captions, you teach someone how to use Jasper.ai or have a set of templatized captions and you know that they can do it hourly and it takes like 5 hours a month. Um, that could be $100 a month. Now, a good person to hire hourly for this type of work, notice you guys, this is more of like a task based type of work. This is someone who doesn't actually want to deal with building a business, securing clients. They just kind of want some work on the side, etc. And you can find these people in groups, and this is like their dream opportunity, which is pretty cool. Hashtags. You can hire someone to create sets of hashtags for just a couple of $100 for your client. And then you can rotate through those hashtag groups, or you can use like Metricool to find the best hashtags to use. By the way, do you guys all use Metricool? Because if you don't, um, let's just drop it. Let's drop the link to using Metricool
Yeah.
because you guys got to check this out. It's pretty cool. Go ahead, Aniston. Beautiful. So we will drop the link in the chat because Metricool has an awesome hashtag. Well, they have a hashtag tracker, but they also have the ability to research what hashtags, and it's based on number of uses, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So inside of our planner, if you are scheduling content and adding hashtags about your sector, about your industry, or in interests, whatever, you can add the first hashtag. So say you added marketing, then it will generate hashtags related to that topic and also the population of how many people are using it. So this is great if you are planning content, you're like, I don't know exactly what hashtag to add. You can add those popular hashtags. It's a great, great tool.
Beautiful. They also have it for Instagram too. So, video editing. This is something I would probably have people do like hourly. And it's not going to take an hour to edit like a TikTok video. Let's say it takes someone 30 minutes per video. Do not rip up my chair. No, ma'am, Miss Ma'am. Drop a yes if you have pets. They're wild, aren't they? Pets are crazy. Okay, so if I have, let's say, 20 TikToks, so like Monday through Friday, 20 TikToks about per month, and it takes half an hour for someone to get them done. I could hire someone a little bit like younger, maybe a college student, etc. Or even I wouldn't hire a high schooler, but you could if you have a niece or something to do the actual video editing. So let's say it is 20 videos per month, 2 videos per hour, and you pay them $20 per hour, 200 to 300 per month for the video editing. And then comment response, that would probably take about 10 minutes per day. You could hire someone for about, let's say, $100 a month to just respond to a couple of comments on each video per day. Okay, you guys like this breakdown? So what you would need to pay is $200 upfront for hashtag sets. And then let's just round some of this up a little, 100, 300, 100. We'll round it up to like $600 per month in costs to hire this out to people who are provided the strategy, the systems, the SOPs, and then ultimately the work. And I will tell you, one of the cool things is sometimes you can find friends and family who are looking for just like a side gig that works for them on their own schedule. And that can sometimes work really well. So you already know that you need to charge at least $600 per month in order to make these deliverables work. Now, some of these could cost more if you're not great at building out systems, templates, SOPs, and the strategy. But the better you get at those things and having resources available to your team, the more you can plug and play people who aren't super well versed in marketing. Cool? Drop a yes if this is already helpful. Okay, let's move into effective pricing packages. Now, my favorite pricing package by far is the 3-tier proposal. 3-tier proposal. Do I have any resources to get better at those things? I have so many videos on it. I think they're all across the internet. I think they're mostly on YouTube. I'm trying to think. I know my boot camp, I talk a little bit about SOPs. I'm trying to think. They're all over, though. I know that. Okay. So
And
let's.
that's link to your YouTube channel in the chat so that people can watch your videos.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. My favorite pricing strategy in the world is the simplest. I'm not going to explain why because we'll run out of time today. But these are plain text proposals. These are not made pretty. Drop a yes if you hear me loud and clear on that. It way out converts. And these are just added into the body of emails to clients after the discovery call. This is the process we've discovered hands down works the best. And we follow a 3-tier proposal. So the first tier is what you know you can get. This is like your fallback. So you know that you can charge X, Y, and Z, and clients will usually say yes. Tier 2, you create with a little more deliverables, or a little more advanced growth or a little more intense content creation process, something that's a little bit of a stretch. So if this is 1,000, this might be 1,750 or 2,000. And this one is the big leap. So this one might be like 3,000. Now, what's beautiful about this is you don't have to worry about raising your rates because clients can self-select which package they want. And if you know you can sell this package at this rate, awesome. You have that as a fallback. But you never know if a client is going to want a next level package unless you offer it. So give them that menu, and it is an absolute game changer. Anyone love this process? We got kitten all over it today. Okay, so that is my favorite pricing strategy. Go for it, Aniston.
That was awesome. No, I was just saying that was awesome. That clip of your cat was so funny. I love that.
Perfect. Okay. There's one last thing I just want to talk about, and I'm going to talk about it kind of like generally, but ways to set yourself up for higher prices. So there are quite a few different ways to set yourself up for higher prices. And so I'm just going to list them because the truth is you can't do these overnight, but you will want to ultimately incorporate all of them. So one is to share your wins on social media. And that doesn't have to be every day. That's just a once in a while type of thing. And it is, here's a win that I just got for a client. Here's a win I just had for myself. Here is a win. And by the way, if you do not yet have clients, make yourself your first client. You are a case study too. I'm a huge fan of case studies, and building case studies is number 2. Case studies are really powerful and they can showcase a track record of your results. So like if you go to my website, you'll see I have 3 case studies on my website of client results that we've gotten. I used to also have a video testimonial compilation. I probably should add that back up at some point. A video testimonial compilation of clients who shared like the results that we got for them in their businesses. And that would probably be number 3 is having testimonials from clients. So that's a really powerful thing. You can showcase those on your website. You can put them in the footer of your emails. You can put them at the end of your proposal. You can put them absolutely everywhere. And then number 4, and this is a big one, but this is a whole like deeper topic, position yourself as an expert. You don't have to just constantly say, I'm an expert, but like show up with certainty. You guys might notice like I speak pretty softly and it's almost like a more of a reserved demeanor. But I still show up with certainty. Like I know what I'm sharing is awesome. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even if it's like you're sharing beginner or newer information, still show up with certainty because for somebody, it can really, really make a difference. And some business owners are going to watch you and be like, wow, I really love that this person is just showing up and it feels like they're connecting some dots. It's actually like my most simple information, especially on short form video and YouTube, that gets the biggest results.
I know for someone, I mean, who's younger, that's just kind of starting her career path. Coming into that was so intimidating because I have imposter syndrome all the time where I feel like I'm constantly, don't know what I'm talking about. But one, I feel like all of us are navigating in our careers, and sometimes we don't know exactly, there's a lot of uncharted waters, but also we're in this industry for a reason because we are knowledgeable about what we work with. So anytime that you have those thoughts of imposter syndrome, just go back to what you do every day and the fact that you are building out these things that a lot of other people don't have the knowledge about.
Yes. And I'm going to add to that because I remember feeling like I didn't know anything for a very long time, but it's mostly because I was spending all my time surrounded by marketers who are advanced. And that's a good thing, but
Yeah.
My clients aren't always going to be the most advanced at marketing. They may be in some ways and they may not be in other ways. So being surrounded by experts and masters and people who are really, really knowledgeable about it can make you think like, there's no way I can provide value. But your dream clients aren't already masters in marketing in every way.
Yeah.
So beautiful. That is all I have for today. This was
Amazing.
fun.
Thank you so much. I know that was awesome. If anyone has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll answer just a few questions before
Mhm.
head out. But thank you again, Rachel. That was truly awesome. As you were saying, being in front of marketers or being surrounded by marketers that are
Mhm.
advanced, I always think about you because I'm just so glad that I get to always learn from you and um, ask new questions. And yeah, it's just always, I think in this industry, there's always something to learn. So having kind of that role model is really awesome,
Mm.
especially someone who's getting into this career. So yeah, thank you so
You're
much.
amazing, Aniston, and you grow so much all the time. Like, it's amazing to see. Like, I love watching you grow and step into certainty. Like, everybody's like, "Wait, are we just having like a love fest here?" Yes, we totally are.
From pricing your services to
Are there any questions? Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. What would you recommend for an invoicing service? PayPal takes a good chunk. Okay, so this is important to keep in mind. Any payment platform, unless you do bank wires, that's a little bit of a smaller chunk, but that's the convenience of not having to deal with written checks. So it's not as much as you would think. I think the PayPal fee is less than 5%. So I'm a big fan of being like, okay, is this worth the convenience of not having to deal with a check and going to the bank multiple times a month or to, every month or whatever? And most of the time the answer is yes. So I love setting up invoicing through PayPal and Stripe. That's how we do it. Yep.
And if
Let
anyone has any questions when they're watching at a later time, feel free to still drop them in the chat and we can answer those after.
mhm. I like Stripe and PayPal because PayPal works better with international clients. And if you have a great track record with PayPal, you don't have issues with PayPal. So we've used PayPal for 8 years. Oh, here's a question. Well, one person said, "What is my website address?" It is rachelpeterson.com, all E's and a D in my last name. So you can check out those case studies. How do you get your business over the line? I try and charge more, but people want me to guarantee results or don't trust that they will get an ROI. Um, that is a very complicated question with a complicated answer because if people are still skeptical, either you're tapping into the wrong network or you haven't built enough rapport and no like trust online first. So I oftentimes find that front loading organic social and delivering tons of value that way, that really and truly transforms that skepticism. And I'm talking, I give away my best stuff for free nonstop on social. And that has made a huge difference. I actually, to be super meta about this, I remember when Isabel came up to me at Social Media Marketing World, and she had been, I think, watching my TikToks for 2 years.
Oh my
And so she had watched my TikToks. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. For like 2 years before Metricool ever considered working with me on a sponsorship. So I think that that's kind of helpful to keep in mind. So like create content longer than you think you need to create content and just pack it full of value so that people aren't skeptical.
totally.
Mm-hmm. There has been so much buzz about IG changing algorithms. Will Reels still be useful? Use whatever is working. Reels are still working for us. And then this, I probably shouldn't admit this, but Instagram's never been my favorite platform. So I just have these really lazy quote cards, and they don't get a lot of engagement, but they reach a lot of people, which is very weird. So like, I just hide the likes on them because sometimes they'll get like 28 likes, which is abysmal, but it'll reach like tens and tens and tens of thousands of people, and I don't get it. But they have been growing my account, as have been reels that do or don't get engagement. So do whatever works. So our combo is working, quote cards that are just kind of like lazy and reels. And I'm like, I'm not changing it. Well, it's not broken,
Yeah.
just being honest. So what platform do you use for streaming so you can see Facebook comments at the same time? I'll let you take this one away, Aniston.
Okay, sorry, I need to read it. What platform do you use for streaming? Okay, so we use, so you can see Facebook comments at the same time. Well, we use Restream for webinars. We also used to use StreamYard. StreamYard is also a great tool. But Restream, you can add in captions, graphics, you can brand it. So as you see, we have the Metricool logo, and you can add tickers, and also we're able to be in the same studio together, obviously. So I can turn myself off like I was doing. Really great. And you can, attach Facebook, you can attach your YouTube channels. We're even linked also to Rachel. So super great for these sort of collaborations.
I want to answer one more question because this one's really good. Not that the other questions aren't good, but it's like timely. So, hi everyone. I have a question. I'm so new in freelancing. Is it still profitable to be a freelancer knowing the hype of the artificial intelligence? Okay. A really good analogy just came to my head. Thinking about like Nespresso and Keurig machines. Like the big hype was this is going to put Starbucks out of business. It's going to put Caribou out of business. I have an espresso machine. I love it. I use it every day, but there are still a few times each week where I am like, I want to go to Starbucks and I want someone to make a drink for me because I want fancy. I want frou-frou. I want it done well. A lot of people, though, thought that those machines would replace the, stores that offer custom drinks. And the truth is, you guys, it actually just enhances everything. Sometimes people are going to feel like DIYing it, and that is going to actually reduce the number of clients that are tire kicking who have no budget. They can use the artificial intelligence, and then ultimately that will help them to build their business until they're at the point where they can hire an expert to get real, measurable, trackable results.
It's a great answer.
Okay. Should we call it?
Thank you guys so much. Yes, I was just going to drop your code so you can try Metricool Premium 30 days for free by using code Rachel. It's a great tool if you want to try for free 30 days. You can unlock all of our premium features. So try it out at metricool.com and let us know what you think.
Bye, everyone.
And thank you so much again, Rachel. Everyone, have a good day. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.